Socially direct, not politically correct. This is Getting Real with Kid DeVille. Thank you for listening. Now let's get real.
Hey, y'all.
Cut the check, nigga. Cut the check, nigga. I'll run the cash for it. Run the cash for it. Don't make me ask for it.
Hey, y'all. What up? It's your boy Kid DeVille. You know we are back here with another episode of Getting Real with Kid DeVille. I'm your host, Kid DeVille. And, you know, I'm here a little later. I mean, it's not like I'm live or anything, but I'm recording a later show. I'm on my ass about recording shows because I'm like, you know what? I got to get it out. It sucks because me and Javante actually shot an amazing episode last week. And I had only planned for it to be like an hour. And me and Javante were just having such a good conversation that it ended up being like an hour and 15 minutes. But this new program here on Riverside, I guess it didn't upload. So it was like I was basically having an interview with myself. So thank God Javante is down to record another episode. And we're going to make sure it's even more lit than the other one was. Because the other one was really good. But we're going to make sure this one is going to even be even better. We were even holding back because we were like, because I don't know if I told you guys yet, but I'm going to start implementing an after show where we're going to be a little bit more raw, a little bit more unedited, you know what I mean? Spilling that tea. I'm probably going to put it behind a paywall eventually, but it's going to be not too expensive. So it's going to be just something, you know, to help us grow, give us a little bit more, you know, really get real, you know, so. But how are you guys doing other than that? You know what I mean? Whenever you're dealing with computer stuff, you always gotta, you know, expect the worst. So, unfortunately, I wanted to have, you know, an episode out today, but, you know, unfortunately, you know, life happens. So, but whatever, we're getting it fucking done. So, you might get 2 episodes this week. So, yeah. But yeah, still, I mean, it's July. Like I said, Pride is fucking all summer. So, happy Pride to everybody. Like I said, I'll be traveling down to San Diego Pride in about a week, or in about 2 weeks, to see Big Daddy JoJo. We love Big Daddy JoJo. So that's one of our straight friends. You know, we love our straight allies. But yeah, we're still staying on the topic of like Pride and all that. You know what I mean? Even though, like I said, it's in July, but I came across a few clips. This first one actually is very, you know, great because it's like what we're talking about. So we're gonna go ahead and watch this first. Let's see.
All right, y'all. So I'm at Pride Manhattan.
Sorry for the sound.
It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I'm enjoying myself. It's so nice. It really is. Like, I haven't been to like Prides in a while, in a hot ass minute, and so I'm happy to be here. But as you can see, honey, as you can see, like we have children with Pride beats walking through. Children being brought downstairs for whatever reason. And I don't agree with that. 2 things could be true. We deserve this shit. This is lovely. This is great. This is community. This is love. But it's for adults. Bitch, I'm over here smoking weed, honey, and I see just a bunch of kids with their, you know, and you know, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe they just live around here. No, honey. All the kids is wearing Pride, rainbow, you know, and the parents, and that's great. That's fine and all. I mean, you know, I guess if you want to do that in the comfort of your own home, but they should not be out here. They should not be out here, and that's coming from a motherfucking tranny, honey, who believes that we deserve to be celebrated and to have these moments, right? but amongst adults. So I just want to say, honey, I just want to, no shade, we need to do better in that department, because it is a tad bit inappropriate to have children in all of this.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was trying to look at her name because I actually like follow her. I see a lot of her posts come up, and I actually like really enjoy her content. However, I do kind of disagree with what she's saying about pride. I mean, I'm not gonna say I fully disagree. I think I like partially agree, partially disagree. I think my thing is like that was during the daytime. I mean, they have Puerto Rican Day parades, they have Carnival, they have all these other different parades that I'm sure kids are there, and you know what I mean? I don't see the correlation of why they can't be at a queer parade. I mean, you said that they had beads on. Is that insinuating that they like showed something for the beads, or you know what I mean? Like I don't. It's not Mardi Gras, you know what I mean? So it's like if the kids are walking around with rainbow beads, kids like rainbows, you know what I mean? Kids like butterflies, kids like all that shit, you know what I mean? That's one thing. I don't think that they necessarily should not be allowed, especially during the daytime. It's like it's a daytime parade, like, you know what I mean? Like I remember going, like, as when I was in junior high, going to the AIDS parade, seeing like men holding hands. Of course they weren't in like thongs and stuff like that, but I was seeing stuff as maybe a kid, quote unquote, shouldn't see or whatever. But it's like, now if it's, you know, after a certain hour, you know, lights are out, I mean not lights are out, but it's like dark time, then yeah, I can see where kids probably shouldn't be a part of it. But during the daytime, when it's parades and shit, it's like, to me, if you're smoking weed in the corner, babe, then that's just you smoking weed in the corner, you know, on the street. I mean, is that even really legal? Like, it's not even really legal. So it's like, that's just you breaking the law, babe. And it's like, I mean, kids can literally be walking down the street on any given day and smell some weed. They can literally, there's people drinking, you know, on the side, you know, cafe or whatever, you know what I mean? So I think that's just like broad kind of a stroke to put that, like, oh, and I think it sends a wrong message, kind of like, it's almost like, I don't want to say this because I actually like her content, and I've seen her content. I mean, she's real content, but it's almost giving pick me vibes a little bit, because it's like, you know, the homophobes, they hate, you know, the kids around the gays, you know what I mean? Because they swear that all we want to do is touch kids and all that other shit, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't see anything wrong with gay parents taking their gay children, or not even their gay children, their children, to a pride event, you know what I mean? Like I said, once the bars start popping and it's like nighttime and it's like then that's when it's time to go home, you know what I mean? But during the daytime, when it's like floats and shit like that, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like smoking weed, okay, that's like, you can literally be in a Walmart parking lot and smell fucking weed being smoked. Like, I don't think, you know what I mean? And people walking around in their thongs and stuff. That's like, I mean, is that just something that maybe we need to correct during the daytime? Like, is that really appropriate? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I go to my pride events, of course I want to look sexy. I'm gonna have me a cutoff, you know what I mean? I might have me some baggy jeans on. I'm gonna be showing, you know, that jock strap, you know, them jock strap strings underneath, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna be fully fucking naked, you know what I mean? Unless I'm like at a bar or like something late night, you know, I might take off my shirt or whatever, get a little bit more. But it's like, no, during the daytime, it's a pride, you know, festival with fucking floats and shit. Like, I don't see anything wrong with children being there, you know what I mean? Kids have gay parents, you know what I mean? Kids are gay. I knew that I was gay in the first grade. I honestly knew I was gay in the first grade. Honestly, I remember the first time, like, I wrestled with my friend, okay, in the first grade, and like, I was just so turned on by it, you know what I mean? So I knew at a very early age that I was into men. So like I said, if I would have maybe went to a pride parade at a younger age and seen like this whole just like eclectic group of gay people and what gay is, you know what I mean? It would have probably changed the trajectory of like how I came out. It would have changed a lot of things of, you know, me, you know, not accepting myself until I was 22, not wanting to come out the closet until I was 22. So it's like, we got to stop like trying to make it just seem like gay people are just like predators and that all we want to do is like fuck on kids. Not to say that there's not some fucking weirdos in our fucking community, but there's weirdos in every fucking community, okay? And like I said, I really don't believe there's anything wrong with children being present during a day pride parade. I don't see anything wrong with it. Like now you're worried about smoking weed. I hear you, but at the same time, this kid can literally be in a Walmart parking lot and smell weed. You know what I mean? They could be anywhere and smell some weed. That's the one thing. Seeing naked people, I mean, yes, but then does that really fall on the pride, or is it like the pride parade, or does that fall on the individual? Like, why are you walking around at 2:00 in the daytime in pasties? And but like, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, like, if that's what we're gonna call it out, then okay, cool. Then maybe we should just be a little bit more appropriate during the daytime, and then when the nighttime comes, the kids out, then we get fucking buck wild. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. There's always a balance. There's always a middle ground to something. You know what I mean? To things. You know what I mean? I don't think just saying no, kids cannot come to a pride parade is where it's at. You know what I mean? Because it's all that's fighting is stereotypes that, like, we're just trying to turn kids out, we're trying to pervert kids and all this shit. And it's just like, as a fucking growing up as a first grader, like I said, I knew in the first grade that I was fucking gay. I can even tell you the dude's name, everything, the first crush I had. Funny thing, I even ran into him like 2 years ago. Crazy, but anyway, like I said, I remember the first dude that came over, the first time, you know, we wrestled and all that shit. And like I said, like I knew I was gay, you know what I mean? So it was like, y'all be trying to hide gay from like kids and shit like that. And I get it, we don't want no sexually explicit things. Like, kids should not be experiencing sexually explicit things. But like, gay people, like it's I literally saw nothing but straight people growing up. You know what I mean? Remember, I grew up in the fucking 90s. I was born in the late 80s, very late 80s, grew up in the 90s, and all I saw was fucking straight people. You know what I mean? My first pornos were fucking straight. You know what I mean? And I figured it out. Yeah, like, this is sexy, but it's like I was always looking at the guy. You know what I mean? So kids, give them a little bit more credit. And like I said, I definitely believe that children should be children. Children should not be exposed to overly sexual things. You know what I mean? However, the pride parade, like, if y'all are putting heterosexual relationships in front of children, then why not put the gay relationships? That's all I'm saying. Why not? And you're talking about confusing kids and shit. There's so many other confusing fucking things in this world. What's confusing about telling a kid, look, there are some people in this fucking world that like women, man and woman, and there are some people that like other women. There are some people that like other men. There's nothing confusing about that. It's really nothing confusing about it. So that's my position on that. I think that kids should be allowed, you know what I mean, at the pride parades. Like I said, whenever you're in public, there's gonna be stuff that's going on that maybe kids shouldn't see, but I'm like, that's on the adults. You know what I mean? Like, be a little bit more appropriate. Wait until after 9 o'clock to start wearing your pasties and wearing your thongs and stuff like that in the street. If you're worried about you were smoking weed on the street, you know what I mean? Like, don't smoke your weed on the street. If you're that worried about it, grab you a vape pen instead. That's it. But like I said, what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think? Do you guys think that children should be allowed at pride events? Like I said, I think they should be allowed during the daytime. I think that's cool. You know what I mean? Like I said, at the nighttime, when it starts to get a little bit more, I think it's time to go home. But at the same time, I feel like, no, that's not the answer. Moving on to my next subject, I came across this little video right here. Obviously, it's AI, but I don't know how I feel about this. Like, let's watch it, and then it's a very short clip. It's like 15 seconds, so we'll watch it and we'll come back to it. Now, as hot as that is, as much as I used to make my action figures do all types of triple X shit, you know what I mean? I find a problem with this. All these men are like real men, you know what I mean? None of them that I know have ever been like homophobic, have never said anything against the gay community. But then, like, people in our community go and make shit like this. And you wonder why straight men start getting fucking like kind of like, you know, what the fuck, like y'all doing too much, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of straight men that be cool with gay men, but they'd be like, some of y'all do too much, and y'all don't. And this is a pure example of it. Like I said, I have no problem with fantasy porn, all that shit. Like I love me some what is it called, hentai. I love me some hentai from time to time. I love me some anime porn from time to time. I don't give a fuck. I do. Like I said, you gotta switch it up every now and then. But this right here, while it is a fantasy, whatever, these are real people. And I know the gay community has this like weird obsession with Henry Cavill, which is cool. He's a good looking guy. I mean, teach his own. But like I said, like I think when you start doing shit like this is fucking weird. And it's like, now if this man was to come out and be like, yo, y'all need to fucking calm down, like I'm not fucking gay, like like y'all would be mad as fuck, you know what I mean? So like y'all, like let's take a little bit of like, I don't know, let's just think about when we put stuff out like this, you know what I mean? Like this isn't fair. This really isn't fair. Like I said, it's hot, but like I said, these are real actual fucking men. Let's take the comic book drawings and make them kiss and do all the shit that they want to do. But like I said, I don't think this is right. Especially when y'all be trying to have all these allies. You guys want people to, you know, respect you and stuff. But it's like when we're making shit like this that's not cool. It's not cool. Like y'all got Henry Cavill up here making out with Batman. Like that's not cool. And it's like showing his face. It's just not cool. It's like it's doing too much. Yeah. So I think we as gay men, we fight for, you know, allyship. We fight for, you know, we want to be friends with the gay, with, you know, with the straight. We want the straights to respect us and all this, but it's like we go and do shit like that. So I don't know. On to my next thing. Let's see. I just grabbed a bunch of fucking just random clips that were just like kind of irking me. So let's see.
It's a minority's job to care about pronouns. That's a liberal white people job. That is not our responsibility. Because we have real problems in life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's not oppressive to be misgendered, but it's the lightest oppression that can happen to you in America. There's never been a nigga about to get shot by a cop and his last words were like, it's he.
I agree 100%. People get mad at me. Well, like I've had discussion with people, not get mad at me, but I've just had discussion with people where they talk about like, oh, it's so important. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it is to like somebody, but at the same time, like I grew up in a time where it was like not really okay to be gay. Like it was like there were gay people around, but it was like it was still kind of like a taboo thing. You know what I mean? So then plus on top of that being black, like the last thing I give a fuck is if somebody calls me a she or a he or a they or a whatever, you know what I mean? And not to say that's not important for somebody else, but at the same time, I really need gays to stop making what's important to you important to other people. Like I said, that's not important to me. I've had conversations with my female friends when they'll be like, oh girl, da da da, and they'll like literally stop in the middle and be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like I did not mean that, like da 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 da. And I was like, no, like I don't take that no what type of way. Like I know deep down inside that I have a dick and balls in between my legs and that I'm a fucking man. So it's like if you call me a she or a girl, I take that as like we're just having such a good conversation that I remind you of one of your girlfriends or something like that. So it's like I'm not even tripping off of shit like that. You know what I mean? But for those that do trip, I mean, hey, if that's your thing, then cool. I do feel that if that is your whole thing, that literally is like the least of your worries. Like if that's literally what you're worried about is somebody calling you by the right quote unquote gender, then you have very few problems in this world. That's all I'm saying. And like I said, I have never allowed me being black or gay to define anything. Like I know that to me, I know I could sit up here and be like, oh my god, the world is just so hard because I'm black and gay and da 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 da. But bitch, I use that shit as a motherfucking golden star, bitch. Like this chocolate ass fucking thick booty, bitch. I'm using that shit as a fucking. I don't use that shit as a crutch. I use that shit as a launching pad, bitch. So that's what I'm saying. Like y'all gotta start leaning into your strengths. Like what the fuck? Like I said, but. I would never purposely try to misgender people. Like I've accidentally called like, you know what I mean, on accident, you know what I mean? Like if I see somebody, like, I'm gonna call you what I see, like, you know what I mean, like, but if not, like if I'm at like a fast food place or something like that, and you know, you never know nowadays who a she, a they, or whatever, so I'd be like, if I see you are presenting as a female, I'm sorry, and it might just slip, and I'm not trying to do it on purpose, I might be like, oh, thank you, ma'am, thank you, miss, whatever, thank you, sir, thanks, bro, like, you know what I mean, and it's like, I'm not trying to be offensive, but if like that is what triggers you, you really should thank your lucky stars, because you really don't have a lot of fucking shit going on in this world. Like, if that is literally the only thing, and I know I'm probably gonna get slack for this, but like I said, if that is literally the only thing that triggers you is being called a he when you want to be a she or whatever, then I mean, you should really count your stars. You should really count your lucky stars, because yeah, like it's treacherous out here for a lot of people. So I 100%, I agree with him a lot. But like I said, I'm not going to take away from anybody else's struggle or what they want. But, and we'll probably talk about this on another podcast, but I'm like, why? It feels like nowadays, like, everybody wants to be a fucking, like a victim. Everybody wants to have, like, a struggle. And I'm just like, you know what, bitch? If I had a fucking, like, or nobody wants to have, like, been, like, a Nepo baby. I'm like, bitch, if my parents were fucking rich as fuck and, like, I was a Nepo baby, bitch, I would lean into that motherfucking shit like it was no tomorrow, bitch. Like, y'all are all crazy. And it's like, anybody who says otherwise is a fucking hater. Plain and simple. Like I said, I have no problem with a Nepo baby. I do have a problem with a Nepo baby that's fucking untalented and that gets fucking shit over people that are talented. But there are Nepo babies out there that are actually fucking talented. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you can get the fucking hands up, why wouldn't you? Like I said, I am not having fucking kids in this world until I make sure I could give my kids a fucking advantage, bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like I'm saying, like, if my kids are gonna be some Nepo babies, goddamn it, I want them to be the best Nepo babies. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like I said, if you are a person that hates on a person that has that privilege, then you're just a fucking hater, and you're mad because you know that if that was you, you would lean into that. And it is what it is. It is what it is. So, like I said, y'all need to stop hating. You know what I mean? Do better. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wasn't a Nepo baby. Like I said, I didn't grow up like poor or nothing like that. But at the same time, it's like I wasn't no Nepo baby, and it's like I'm getting it out of the mud. You know what I mean? But I ain't mad at the next bitch whose dad was been in the industry and gave her a fucking heads up. Like, I'm not. Shit. I wish that would have fucking happened to me. So, like I said, stop being a hater. Like, stop being a fucking hater. Like, right. Like, y'all need to learn how to lean into people and figure out they fucking game plan, bitch. That's what y'all gotta, y'all gotta, like, y'all be so busy over here trying to hate on the sideline. It's like, bitch, get in that motherfucking game and fucking figure out the plays, bitch. That's what y'all gotta do. Get in the fucking game and figure out the fucking plays. But y'all rather sit on the sidelines and be spectators and fucking hate, you know what I mean? And let life fucking pass you by. Bitch, get in that fucking game and learn the fucking plays, bitch. And get to where the fuck you need to be. Fuck the bullshit and get to where you need to be. Like, you're wasting time. You're wasting time hating on this bitch. You're wasting time. I'm sorry, that was a little tangent, but it's just like, I'm just so sick of, like, just hearing people just bitching. Like, just get with it. Like, you're hating. You're being a fucking hater. You're being a fucking hater. Let's be real. If we all had the opportunity to be a fucking Nepo baby, we would. If we all had the opportunity to be born with a fucking silver spoon in our mouth, we all fucking would be. It is what it is. Now, it's all about how you use that privilege. That makes the individual. I don't believe that every Nepo baby is a fucking bad person. I don't believe every rich kid is a fucking little rich, privileged little fucking asshole. I don't believe that. And you shouldn't believe that either. There are some good fucking people. There are some bad fucking people in every group and sect, like I said in my last fucking podcast. And that's where we go wrong as the world. Like, we feel like this group is great of whatever this group is, and this group is fucking horrible. You know what I mean? That's just how it's like, no, there is good here, bad here. There is good here, there is bad here. That is it. You know, I don't know. Let's see. Here's another one. Let's see. Let's move on to the next one.
We stop being shocked at white muscle gays acting like white muscle gays. I just made a video recently where I talked about how I personally don't care that much whenever I see groups of all white muscle gay men hanging out together. And now, this is by no means an attempt to undermine or take away from the severity of racism within the queer community. We know that it runs rampant. It's here. At the same time, I do believe that it's true that if these men wanted to have black and brown friends, then they would just have black and brown friends, period. And not only that, if black and brown people felt safe around them, then guess what? There would be a presence of black and brown men around them. And now I think that the sentiment in and of itself is incredibly valid, right? We want to make sure that we are calling out racism, that we are really ensuring that everybody's educated on this, we're paying attention to how people build relationships, or what really goes into that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I do think that the way that people go about trying to explain this is still very white-centered, which I also think is part of the problem. Every time I see this discourse happen online, I think to myself, okay, cool, so what is the solution? What? The next time they go on a trip, they invite a couple of black people to use them as props? Like, what are we... As far as I'm concerned, yeah, actually, no. If that's how they act, that's how they act. I don't want y'all to be inviting black and brown people just to say that you are meeting a diversity quota. I don't want that. That's not that's not a feasible solution to any of this. In fact, I actually think that's fucking worse. We know how white people act, and white people know how they act. Like, and now, do I appreciate the backlash? Yeah, eat them up. Eat them up. Continue to do so. But I promise that you can just hate them. I promise. How?
Okay, like, let me start off with this. I agree with him to an extent. I think this is one of literally the most tiredest conversations. Hold on, I think my cat is outside. Hold on a second. Oh my God, she was my baby. Oh my God, okay, sorry. But anyway, I think this is one of the most tiredest conversations ever. I'm gonna take a different approach to it. Y'all see these gay white men, muscle gay white men on Fire Island. Y'all see them in Puerto Vallarta in their group pictures and shit. And you see all of them looking the same. Usually they're around the same skin tone. They got the same muscles on. What bothers y'all so much about that? I just really want to know what bothers y'all so much about that. Like, because like I said, I already have my own opinion about it. Like, I feel because you're not being included, and that usually these are the guys that will usually not, like, send you a message back on Grindr or whatever, that this is, like, why they get the bad rap. And I honestly do not feel... I guess I just don't feel no kind of ways about it. Because it's like, usually the ones that are out and about, in my experience, I'm just going to say... Yes, on the Grindr, on the apps and stuff, the buff white gays are usually the ones that are like, oh, I don't fucking do these black, I don't do the Asian, they're usually the ones. But when I see them in person, it's never that vibe. So I'm thinking that these dudes that are on Grindr, you know, they use these fake ass profiles, these racist ass motherfuckers use these fake ass profiles to troll people, I guess. I don't fucking know, but I guess I have just never, because it's like the same thing can be said literally about, like, if you go to like DC Pride, you go to like Harlem Pride, and you see like the group of hot black dudes that are all fucking muscled up, ripped up, like, they're not just gonna accept anybody in their fucking clique either. Does that make them fucking racist? No. It's like, at the end of the day, we're fucking men at the end of the day, and men, we're very visual. Like, I don't care, gay, straight, anything. Men are visual fucking characters, you know what I mean? So men are gonna like what they fucking like. It's just what it is, babe. Like, it is what it is. And then it's like, I guess what bothers me so much about these think pieces is like, there's two things. It's like, it's usually a person who doesn't really take care of themselves, who hasn't really locked the fuck in and has really found out who the fuck they are. Because I truly believe that people who know who the fuck they are, who have locked in, are secure within themselves, anybody who don't want them, they don't fucking want them. So they're not going to go online and make a fucking think piece about why this person is probably racist, or why they don't want to fuck me, or why the fucking gay community is divided. It's just like, girl, like, every community is, they're gonna have groups, they're gonna have sex, every group is gonna be divided, you know what I mean, in a sense, you know what I mean? So I just don't understand. It's like, hot guys are gonna hang out with other fucking hot guys because they want to fuck each other, you know what I mean, and they have something in common. That's just that. Usually, I feel that's usually where it's at. And then people like to tack on the little race thing because it's all white guys. But it's like I never hear people say, what about all the, like I said, when you go to the all black fucking pride events and you see the fucking hot ass black dudes, you know what I mean, ripped up, buffed up, standing in the corner by themselves. Or they're taking pictures. They have no white people in their fucking picture. They have no Asian people. They have no Latinos. And they might have a Puerto Rican in their fucking picture. They might have a Rican in their fucking picture, but they're not gonna have fucking, a lot of times it's be all black dudes, different shades of black dudes, from light skin, red bone, all the way up to a dark chocolate nigga, right? And they all be muscled up. They're not gonna give fucking any attention to just anybody either. But they don't get demonized as being fucking racist all of a sudden. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that there's not racist as fucking white people, like in the gay community, because I know it. But there are racist as fucking black people in the gay community, racist as Asians, racist as Mexicans. Trust me, I've encountered pretty much all of them, bitch. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, when y'all see these pictures, it's like, do y'all want to be involved with them? Do y'all want to fuck them? Do y'all want to be in their friend group? Like, why does it bother you so much? I think that, and I'm not saying that it bothered him, but I'm just saying, like, why does it, I see so many think pieces of all these, just stay away from like I do. Like, you can tell and usually it's like the fucking racist ones aren't even the fucking hot white dudes. You know what I mean? I love me a fucking white dude. I love me a fucking pink-headed yogurt slinger, bitch. Trust, bitch. I love me white boys, Asian, Mexican, black. I love me all of it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I have never, no, I'm not gonna say I've never witnessed or never experienced racism in the gay community, because I definitely have. But it was like something that was like, it was more so for me. I think it was more so some jealousy shit. Back in college when I was fucking with my first white boy, you know what I mean? He was a fine ass white boy, you know what I mean? He kind of got around that me and him were like, whatever, and then he was trying to experiment or whatever. And then this other little gay ass little white boy, you know what I mean, gonna try to slide up in there and be like, oh, so you're like into black guys? And like, so to me, that was some old racist ass white boy shit. You know what I mean? Some old racist ass fucking Arizona ass, oh, so you like niggas, oh, is it a fetish, all that. You know what I mean? It's like, bitch, you just mad, bitch, because this white boy's over here tapping this ass, bitch. This fucking chocolate fucking fondue fountain, bitch. Like, you just mad, bitch. And that's why you fucking looking like some fucking aged ass milk, bitch. Like, you just mad, bitch. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it don't matter. Like, you gonna have racists wherever you fucking go. But I just feel like we can't always just be like, oh, that's a group of fucking white men that all look the fucking same, so they're all fucking racist, they're all exclusive, because I honestly don't believe that's always the case. And then let me put something on top of it, because then as soon as they do accept somebody black, then it's like, oh, there's their token, or oh, they're being fetishized. So it's like, babe, which one is it? And it's like, most of y'all black dudes, y'all don't even want to fuck with a white dude, unless or at least y'all pretend y'all don't want to. Like, do you know how criticized I get for saying that I'm okay with fucking with a white guy? You know what I mean? Do you know how criticized I get? You know what I mean? I've been called all types of whitewash and all that shit. And it's like, oh, so I'm whitewashed now because I'm not a fucking racist with who I date? Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm never gonna date no white guy that ever tries to like play fucking Django or fucking Slave Master or no shit like that. You know what I mean? But I'm not also one of these black people that fucking thinks that every white person walking the face of this planet is fucking evil and racist. You know what I mean? Just like I know that every fucking black person walking the face of this planet isn't my fucking brother or is my fucking kin and has my best interest at heart. Do you know what I'm saying? And y'all gotta realize that too. Any sect that you're in, like, I'm a gay black man, right? I know that every gay person is not gonna be in my corner. I know every black person is not gonna be in my corner. You know what I'm saying? And what y'all gotta realize that, like, and I know it sounds like I'm up here capping for white people, but I think it gets tiring because I do have a lot of white friends that I care for and I love. And I'm like, they would never let anybody ever do anything crazy to me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, some of y'all need to really get out into the world and really experience some new fucking people. Just go, even if y'all go back to slavery times, there were still white people that were not fucking racist, that were literally risking their lives to fucking help us get out of the fucking struggle. Yeah, there were a lot of shitty ass white people, but there were also a lot of shitty ass black people who fucking turned all the slaves that were running away, turned them the fuck in and got them fucking killed and beat. So like I said, everybody who's your skin color ain't your kin. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all really got to start judging people on their character. And you don't even want to be one of those people that's like, oh, I don't see color, bitch. We all see color, bitch. There's definitely, like, bitch, is you colorblind, bitch? We all see color. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it shouldn't affect you. That's what it is. Like, I can't stand no bitches like, oh, I don't see color. Oh, my God. Because then I'm like, oh, so you're just a fucking privileged-ass, deaf, blind bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Who can't step outside your fucking self. You know what I mean? Who has no empathy. You know what I mean? Because everybody sees fucking color. We all see it. We all see color. Like I said, but it's how you respond to color. That's what it's about. And like I said, I will continue to say, if you have a racial preference into who you will date, that is a form of racism. And let me just speak on this real quick, because I'm sure I'm going to come back up on this again. People love to tell me, oh, black people can't be racist, Dom. Black people can't be racist. I'm like, why? And they're like, because racism is systematic. Babe, do your education, babe. If racism was only systematic, you would not need to put the word systematic in front of it. It would just be racism, right? The reason why people look at systematic racism as systematic racism is because white people had the power to make it systematic. Anybody can be a fucking racist. And even with the systematic racism, that wouldn't even kind of hold up today, because we have so many fucking foreigners that have came in here. And I'm not saying, and I said fucking foreigners, but I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying we have a lot of foreigners that have come to this country who more than likely, they're going to hire their own fucking people. They're not going to hire anybody outside their race. Let's keep it fucking 100 real. They are. Just like in Chino Hills. Back in the day, I remember they were trying to turn Chino Hills into fucking city industry, putting all that Chinese letters and shit. Them fucking white people weren't having that fucking shit. Them white people weren't having that shit. And you know what? At the same time, like, I kind of agree with that. Like, I do. It's like, this is a community of a bunch of different backgrounds and ethnicities. So it's like, no, we can't have like a bunch of just like Chinese writing everywhere. We can't have a bunch of just Arabic writing. No, it needs to be a mixture. That's what it is. Like, you know, like I said, and this is nothing against the city or industry, but I'm just saying, as a person who grew up in Chino Hills, I'm kind of glad that happened, because it's like, no, like, this is a mixture, a community. You know what I mean? But like I said, I wasn't meaning to get on race. Like I said, it was supposed to be LGBTQ topics. So, but we would definitely be talking back on this. Like I said, this is getting fucking real with Kid DeVille. And like I said, you know what I mean? We're going to start asking those difficult questions. Let's see. We're going to do a few more. Let's see. Kind of piggybacking off of the white muscle gaze and the muscle gaze. Like, 'cause I feel like, yeah, it's the white muscle gaze, but it's just like, girl, I'm just going to play this fucking video. Hold on.
I just found out one of my homies is gay. The reason I didn't think he was gay was because he's so unhealthy, and that's
Please talk more on this.
Unhealthy, and I'm just like, there's no way. You live like a frat boy that lives in a basement. You can't be gay.
Yep. Thank you. That means you grew up with the same kind of gays I grew up with, Gordon. The gays that I grew up with were in shape.
In shape.
These new gays.
These niggas have 401ks.
Yo.
401 gays.
Good jobs.
These new gays are just sloppy, and it's
Sloppy
weird.
as shit.
Bad that I'm always judging. I'm not even gay, and I'm like, hey, get it together, gay
get
man.
It together, gay man.
You are not representing the community well at all. Who let you in?
You ain't even got a creep. This shit ain't hemmed.
Bruh.
These gays used to have hemmed pants.
Right. 2% body fat on these old gays.
You go to brunch. What's
Right.
wrong with you?
Like, the gay parade used to be something to look at, even if you wasn't gay. Like, god damn, these niggas, it's like a bodybuilding competition up here.
Nah, not now. These motherfuckers look like Chris Farley.
I just found out one of my homies is
No, rest in peace to Chris Farley. I fucking love Chris Farley. Fuck it. But no. And obviously that's joke. It's a satire. But with every joke, there is some truth to it. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, let's just keep it real. Let's keep it 100% fucking real right now. Men, gay or straight, we are visual creatures. We like what we like. And it just is what it is. So I don't understand how gay men think it would be any different for gay men. Like, I just don't understand how they would not think that of, like literally you would hear a girl who's like a size 6, not even like super big. They'll be like, oh, I don't do fat chicks. And I was like, dude, she's like not even like big. Like, what the fuck? And so I'm saying, like, dudes are like, not saying that it's right or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, we're dudes at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So it's like at the end of the day, if you're trying to attract these men, like, I know this is gonna probably sound a kind of way, but babe, you gotta lock in. You gotta lock in. If you want to attract it, you gotta be what you want to attract, babe. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, I said this once on my podcast. I used to go to the club when I first first came out. I remember I first came out, and I had been, like, I guess you could say mass presenting. But it was like, I remember when I first came out, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna like not nothing crazy, but I remember I went and got me some foundation because I was like, oh, I want to be like poreless, fucking, like, you know what I mean. So I would go, you know what I mean, get me a little makeup, nothing crazy. I think I did like a little shine one time, you know what I mean. And like I said, I was still dressing like a dude, but I remember this one dude like who I was like really into, and he was like, oh, you wear makeup, and I was like, no, it's like more so just like, foundation, like whatever. So I'm like trying to explain myself out of the situation. I'm like, fuck, like this guy's so hot, like da-da-da. But that was like me being young, like trying to figure out who the fuck I was, and then I was just like, if you're gay, like, like, cause I'm thinking like in my head, like, you're gay, so like be gay. Like, I remember even one time I asked my mom, I was like, just fuck with her head. I was like, yo mom, what if I told you that, like I was like secretly doing drag? And she was like, oh, that wouldn't surprise me. Like, da-da-da-da, I would have already known that. I was like, so you think I'm a cross-dresser, mom? Like, what the fuck? So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, and I'm like, I'm not even like one of them gay niggas that watch fucking Drag Race. Not like that, but I'm saying, like, that's just not my steez. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a Drag Race gay. I'm a fucking housewife gay. You know what I mean? But whatever. Like I said, so I remember I was wearing my little makeup and shit. You know what I mean? And then I was like, fuck, like, Dom, you don't need to do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to be gay because you're trying to figure out what you are. Like, you know what I mean? But it's just like, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Like, what you do behind closed doors does not have to define what you do. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, I really got my ass into, like, I had already been into, like, working out and shit. Because obviously I played football and shit in fucking high school. I was on the team. I didn't really play. But, yeah, no, like I said, I got into the gym. I started working out. And like I said, I come to find out, like, it's like, this is what I kind of am into. Like, I like looking like, like muscular. Like, that's what I like to do. Like I said, when I was younger, I had like I said earlier, the one crush on the boy that was my age. But usually I was into older guys. Like, and I know that sounds so super terrible. I remember being in junior high, I think sixth or 7th grade, and this one high school boy that used to come to our swimming pool. He used to come in mesh shorts and jump in the pool, and oh my god, he was like 16 or 17. I would just be like, oh my god. He was like, oh, whatever. But like I said, that was me as a kid. Like, I was into the, the older muscular guys. I always liked my action figures. I always just thought muscles were just like the pinnacle of being a fucking man, like having fucking muscles. You know what I mean? So, like what I said, like when I started, I was in it more, and I was like, okay, this is what the gay community is about. Like, it's about looks, baby. It's about it was. I'm either gonna reject it or I'm gonna, lock in and get with it. It's like, it is what it is. So it's like, babe, either you're gonna, like I said, you're either gonna work on yourself. You know what I mean? And like I said, once you start working on yourself and you start putting effort into yourself, getting yourself a regimen, a skincare regimen, getting yourself into the gym, eating better, you know what I mean? You're gonna figure out, damn, like, I was just so much capable of so much more. You know what I mean? You'll start to see other, like, people that you didn't even think would be attracted to you are going to be attracted to you. You're going to find out what you do and what you don't like. You know what I mean? So it's just like, stop trying to fix everybody else and fix you, because you're never going to fix anybody else. You can only fix you, babe. That's what y'all don't understand. And that's, like I said, if you're still trying to fix other people, it's like you're trying to get picked. You're a pick me. And it's like that's just something that's deeper that you got to work on. Like I said, these guys in this clip, they're making fun. They're like, sloppy gay, sloppy, and like, getting real with Kid DeVille. Some of y'all, and it's like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. It's usually the ones that are making these think pieces about like the guys in shape and shit. It's usually the ones that is like, girl, it's because you're trying to fucking get a dude that's out of your fucking league. Let's just be 100%. Like, I'm sorry, it is what it is, babe. Like we're like, men at the end of the day, they're visual creatures, and it's like everybody's gonna get denied. You know what I mean? It like everybody gets rejected. It sucks. I hate rejection too. You know what I mean? I look at myself and, I don't think I'm the bombest nigga walking the fucking face of the planet, but, I'm like, fuck, I'm okay. You know what I mean? I'm okay. But, you know, I've been rejected. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But it's like, you going to let that define you? You going to let that make you get on the internet and fucking denounce a whole group of people just because you couldn't get your nut off? Like, nah. Like, nah. So, I don't know. Like I said, I had somebody in the comments last time said that it wasn't, like, when I was talking about DL, man, they said it wasn't the take that that I thought it was or something like that. But my thing is, like, it's not about me trying to be right or anything. I'm posing questions for people because, like, I feel like a lot of times in this world, it's either one side or the other side. It's like, we need to get down to the middle, make a statement, and then, like, let's figure it out. Let's come to the agreement in the middle. Like I said, most of these people that I've been, like, covering and stuff, like, I agree partially with them, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like there's a little bit added onto it, you know? So, we're getting a little timey here. I actually didn't expect it to be this because it is like 2:30 in the morning, but I didn't give a fuck. Like, I was like, I went and I had a massage client tonight, but I was like, I said, I want to get y'all an episode. So we're gonna do one more clip, I think, and then, yeah, let's see.
Why are straight guys pretending to be gay? We've all seen it. The sexually ambiguous influencers selling the idea that they're gay, or at least swinging both ways. But really, we all know they're not. They're doing it for likes, followers, and probably making a ton of money off the back of it. And good for them, I guess. Or is it? Strange thing is, a lot of people seem to embrace it. I guess it's the fantasy coming true, the straight guy that might actually be gay. For me personally, I find it a bit annoying and honestly not attractive. It's so obvious, I find it a turn off. But I wonder, should we call it out more? Just not engage with it? But then I think, who are they really harming? If anything, maybe it's normalizing things a bit. If straight guys are happy to present that way, obviously there's no reason for us to be ashamed of it. But still, it kind of irks me. What do you think? Do you enjoy that kind of content, not care? Or does it bother you a bit?
Excuse me. I'm a little torn on it. I think when I first started out in the gay community, like I said, I always, even when I was like a little kid, like, it was always like masculinity, muscles, big man, like that's what it was. And I wasn't even in like a bottom, but that's what I still like. I was just into. I was just like, fuck, like I just love like muscles, you know what I mean? Like action figures, like G.I. Joe, like X-Men, like da 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 da, you know what I mean? So for me, it was like, I guess growing up, I never. This is perfect. I went to film school. And we were talking about, I remember one of my classes, we were talking about representation in film. And this is why representation in film is so important. Gay men have always been portrayed as like the slapstick, the funny, the skinny, the effeminate, you know what I mean? Never like a big, burly, masculine man who's gay. You know what I mean? So I think one of the first times I saw a true masculine man be represented as gay on TV was, I don't know if y'all remember the 90210 reboot. They had that one storyline with the football. I don't know if he's a football player, but I just remember him being like a jockey white boy who came out the closet or whatever. And that was kind of like the first time. And then I remember after that, like queer as folk started coming out, and I started seeing like different types. So it was like, that's what made me comfortable coming out as a fucking like gay man, to be like, I don't have to be a gay man, like, you know what I mean? Like, and like I said, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but that is not every gay man. And like I said, I used to and like I said, when I was putting on my makeup, I used to think like, oh, well, you're gay, so you gotta be gay, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, you just be dom, you know what I mean? So that's why like representation is important. Because then we fall into this category where you have men who are attracted to men who want straight men because they feel like they are more masculine. There are plenty of, I guess you could say, passing, covert, masculine, trade, whatever, in our community, you know what I mean, that are fully gay and that are willing to fuck men. But for some reason, we would rather the straight guy for some reason. And I think I know the reason, but at the same time I don't, because at the same time, like I said, there are plenty of gay men in the community that are buff, that are like masculine passing, I guess you could say, or whatever, mass for mass, whatever the fuck. But I think it's just more so of like the chase, the being able to flip a guy out. But to me, at the same time, I still feel like that's like, it's a very young mindset. It's a very messy mindset. Like I said, I remember at one point I was like, when people are like, oh, look, Dom turning on another guy, and I used to be like, oh, okay, like, yeah, like, you know, but then I was like, no, that's fucking offensive as fuck. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're trying to say that I'm tricking a grown ass man into doing something because, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't need to trick a grown man into doing something. And I was like, no, that's actually quite offensive for somebody to say like, oh, you're turning somebody out. To me, I think that's very offensive to be like, oh, you're turning somebody, because that definitely means that you're leading with deceit to get what you want. To me, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like to turn somebody out. It's like you did something like deceitful to get what you wanted. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just for me. So like I get offended when people are like, oh, you like you're trying to turn. It's like, no, like if this nigga felt comfortable enough to fucking want to try to come out to me, then that's what it was. You know what I mean? But don't try to make it seem like I was over here trying to turn a nigga out or whatever like that. You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of stay away from that whole like straight thing. And I know we were talking about DL guys, but to me, like I said, there are levels to the whole DL thing. Like I said, the DL dude that I was speaking to, he was not in a relationship currently with a woman. You know what I mean? Me and him had known each other for several years. He wanted to experiment, but he didn't want to experiment with some random. He would rather experiment with somebody that he knew. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's levels to that shit. For me personally, I have seen literally gay men go over and grovel over a fucking straight guy at the club while they're fucking dancing or whatever, and as soon as they walk away, they're over there like rolling their eyes, talking shit, you know what I mean? And it's just like, for me, I couldn't do it. Like I said, I couldn't. I don't know, my ego's not set up like that. I personally couldn't. So like I said, I don't feel like they're hurting anybody. I feel like there is a demographic for them, but I feel like as gay men, if you respect yourself, like there's other gay men that are like just as presenting as I guess you want your straight man to. So I mean that's just what poses the question. Like, is it more so that they're a straight guy fucking with a girl on the or have a girl? Or is it just because they are masculine, they're not part of the community? You know, that's the question that you really have to ask. Because it's like, there are plenty of gay guys that can be fucking straight passing. Like, let's keep it 100%. I know I'm a fucking homosexual, you know what I mean? But to the untrained eye, they would think I was straight. I still have friends to this day that know that I fucking have a boyfriend. I've sucked dick. I have literally done it on camera, like with OnlyFans and shit. But just because I have entertained a female or I've entertained a trans man, you know what I mean, with a vagina, that I'm bisexual all of a sudden. And I was like, no, I'm not bisexual. Like I said, I'm a very sexual person, but it's like I know what I want at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I do not want to be in a relationship with a woman, even though I think women are beautiful. And like I said, I could definitely I've had sex with a woman before, you know what I mean? Definitely before, you know what I mean? I've messed with girls before, kissed girls, and it's all fun, but it's like at the end of the day, I do not want to be with a female. I would prefer to be with a man. I don't really care about the vagina thing because honestly, I never saw myself with a man. Honestly, I saw myself with a trans man. You know what I mean? A woman who transitions into a man. I really saw myself with a trans man, to be honest, and starting a family and shit, to be honest. But that's a different story for a different day. But basically, like I said, do what you want to do. If you want to feed into the whole gay for pay thing, cool. I mean, like I said, I feel like there's people in our community that give the same vibe if that's what you're like looking for. But if you're just looking for that story where it's like I'm fucking with a dude who's fucking with a girl and he's picking me over his girl and that's what gets you off, then I mean, do you, boo. But at the end of the day, you're always gonna look like the fucking loser at the end of the day. So yeah, I mean, in the gay bars and stuff, like I'll tip them, like if they're, but I definitely, I'll tell you one thing, I'm the type that will watch before I start tipping. I'm always gonna watch. I'm gonna see how you treat the others, because I believe in tipping, you know, especially because you guys do provide an ambiance to the club. So I do agree, like there's nothing for me to stick $5-10 in a fucking stripper's G-string. However, I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna see how you treat the, I don't want to say the incel, but I'm gonna see how you treat the dude who's not like the bomb one, you know what I mean? The one who has the money but isn't that cute, you know what I mean? Who's willing to just throw them out. I'm gonna see how you treat them. And if you treat them like they're the only girl in the world, I'm like, okay, cool. This is a cool guy, you know what I mean? He's doing his job, whatever. But if I see you like turn your head and start rolling your eyes, counting your money, making sure how much they gave you and shit, I'm like, okay, no, he's not getting shit from me. So yeah, like I said, they're not harming anybody, but it's like, when you start getting people hitting on your page and all that shit, and you start getting, oh, I don't want gay guys hitting on me, all this shit. It's like, well, then, bitch, go to the straight clubs, bitch. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. When you start becoming homophobic after you didn't make the money and all that shit, then, bitch, that's where my problem lies. So, we have one more story, but I think I'm gonna call it here. It's about 55 minutes. It's a late show, so, but yeah, like I said, all these conversations can continue. Like I said, this is a continuous podcast. We can always bring up stuff. I'm always going to bring up old clips. That's why I have like this library of all the old clips that I have, so I can bring them up on later dates and everything. But like I said, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I've actually been getting a lot of feedback from the last episode, so I appreciate you guys on that. But yeah, let's just keep it going. Like I said, we're back in full effect, and I don't plan on going anywhere. A lot of new stuff coming, a lot of new music coming, so make sure y'all download the Naked and Sexy You 5th anniversary fucking album. It's out right now on all streaming platforms. It's like 20-some tracks on there, so get that. Music videos coming soon. I'm in the process of getting some music videos and shit together. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, this week, hopefully we'll get you guys another episode. And like I said, I had an episode with Javante that we literally filmed fucking 3 days ago, and it did not capture Javante's fucking camera or audio. So yeah, so hopefully it will next time. But like I said, shout out to Javante, because it was an amazing show, and he said he's willing to do another one. So shout out to Javante, and we're gonna get that for y'all. So this is all for now. I love y'all. Make sure, like I said, to subscribe, like, comment, share, and like I said, it's a discussion. Please don't come in here fucking like trying to be cute, trying to be like, babe, I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not above reproach. I can be like, my mind can switch, you know what I mean? I'm not one of those people. I'm not a radical extremist. I'm not a liberal extremist. I'm not a MAGA extremist. I'm not none of those shits, you know what I mean? I'm a person who's trying to find truth down the middle, and like I said, I'm not tied to either side ever in life. I'm never tied to a side, ever. You always have to choose your own side, and you always have to figure out the truth. That's what it's about, you know what I mean? You'll always be led astray if you don't go with your own, with you have to pick your own side, and you know what I mean? You have to find the truth, go with your gut. Like I said, you'll never be led astray. You know what I mean? Like I said, your opinions can change, stuff can change, and that's okay. Like, you know what I mean? That shit can change. That's what life's about. Is about growing. You know what I mean? And becoming wiser, smarter every day. But if people choose not to do that, then that's on them. You know what I mean? But all right, y'all. Y'all have a great night. I love y'all so much. Again, this is your boy Kid DeVille. Follow me on Instagram at _ the real K DeVille, or no, at the real K DeVille. And then you can also follow Black Bastard Beard Oil. Black Bastard Beard Oil is coming back. I'm not gonna give an exact date, but it's coming back. Just know that. That's why I'm growing on my beard and shit. So yeah, _ Black Bastard Beard Oil. So yeah, y'all have a good night. I love y'all, and yeah, let's get real.